The Numark DJ2GO2 Touch is such a convenient controller. You could set it up from being packed away in the matter of seconds, and all you need to do is connect it to a speaker, connect it to your iPad, and you're ready to go. This controller is very affordable, and I'm going to show you guys how to map this controller just like a larger club style controller, and let's get started. So we are going to go to our settings. Once we make sure the controller is connected, go to our settings, and then you go down to where it says MIDI devices. And now you just select your controller. For this example, it's the DJ2GO2 Touch. There will be a link down below, by the way. And now we are going to map the volume slider. This controller is weird. Usually volume sliders are sliders, not knobs. So I'm going to make this knob into a filter. I feel like it fits right there in the middle of the mixer. We'll have a filter. This is a really great effect to have on your controller because most DJs now, especially with EDM, they use the filter a lot. So we're going to have it right there, the same as it would be on a club style mixer. So there we go. We just find the control and then we map it to deck 1 and deck 2 as the filter and not as the volume. Don't worry about the volume. I'm going to show you guys a really creative place to put the volume sliders. So I'm just making sure that both of them are connected and they're both set up to be the filter. And now let's see how they work. All right, I could see on my iPad that they're working. Let's play a song. And there we go. We have a filter, and it's controlling deck 1 and deck 2's filter, but it's not doing anything with the volume, which is getting kind of annoying. So I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do with the volume. I just think it's so cool to have the filter right there. It really helps, and I always use the filter when I DJ. So now let's do the next one. We'll go back. Everything in the mapping is going to be in MIDI controller and then inside the controller that you select. And now I'm going to use the BPM slider. Don't worry, this controller, the BPM sliders are really hard to use for manual beat matching. You could just press the sync button once to match up the BPM, and then you could turn it off and you could still manual beat match, but you don't have to find the BPM with that little slider. And also you could still do it on the iPad, but I'm going to make these the volume sliders because a lot of DJs, including myself, when they DJ on bigger controllers, they use the volume sliders more than they use the crossfader, and it's fun to switch them in and out and fade the song in and out that way instead of using the knob that the controller is set up to be. So there we go. I have the volume set up on the BPM sliders. I have it reversed. I thought it was really cool to have them inverted, so when you bring it down, it goes up. When you bring it up, it goes down. And they work very well. It works better than the knobs, and now we have a filter and we have volume sliders built into this controller, and we really didn't lose any functionality that we would need. So I think it's really cool to be able to map these controllers. Now we have a filter and we have volume sliders like that. And let's see what else we could do with this controller by adding stuff without taking that much away. And I think every DJ needs at least 1 or 2 effects, so I'm going to make it so you could use effects with this controller right on the controller. And I'm going to use the headphone button. DJ Pro AI has a really great setting where you could set it that when you move the crossfader to the left, the headphones are on the right. When you move it to the right, the headphones are on the left. And it makes it really easy, and you don't need these buttons. These are really nice round buttons, and they're completely wasted on the headphones. A lot of DJs don't even use headphones, especially with such a small controller. So this is going to be our go-to effects. This is going to be effect 1 if you want to use echo or any other effect that you commonly use in transitions and when you DJ. So now it's going to be FX1. I'm just showing you guys how to select the pre-queuing, auto-select pre-queuing, and that's how, as long as that's on, you don't need that button to be for the headphones because it automatically does it with the crossfader. All right, so we have our effects. Number 1 is going to be on the headphone button on both sides. So here we go. We got both of them as effects 1. And then I'm also going to show you a pretty creative way to add effects 2. So we have effects 1, we have filter, and we have volume sliders now. It's really coming together like a real bigger controller. Working perfectly. Those round buttons work so well as a effect, and it's really fun to use echo and echo out like that. Now, for effects 2, I like to use flanger, or you could use any effect. You just set which effect you want. Ow! And now, these select 1 or 2. When you go through your library, you could just select, or you could click each side to select the song. So I never use those load deck 1 and load deck 2. I feel like it doesn't work very well. And it's another great set of buttons for us to use for effects number 2. So now each side of the controller has a filter, has a volume slider, and it has access to 2 effects. And keep in mind that we still have the great pad mode where you could get your samplers, you could get loops, you could pretty much do anything now. You have 4 pads, and you have your cue, your set, your sync, and your play. Volume slider, 2 effects, and filter. It feels like a much larger controller, and you're not really making any sacrifices to other features in the app. And of course, with such a small controller, you could have it set up right next to your iPad, so you could use any of the features on the iPad as well as what you got on the controller. So I made a lot of videos on how to map the controller. I didn't get into it too deeply into this video, so watch the video up over there and the one on your end screen, and you guys could learn more. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.